Imagine a system where political parties are funded by secret donations, shielded from public scrutiny, and intertwined with the interests of big corporations. Welcome to the world of electoral bonds, a scheme introduced in 2017 by the Modi government, touted as a tool for transparency but marred by manipulation and deception. Today, we're lifting the veil on one of the most significant scandals in independent India's history, where the lines between democracy and corporate interests blur. Join us as we unravel the intricacies of the electoral bond scheme and expose the web of deceit spun around it. Understanding the electoral bond scheme. In 2017, the Modi government introduced the electoral bond scheme, purportedly as a means to cleanse political funding and promote transparency. Under this scheme, individuals and corporations could anonymously donate funds to political parties by purchasing electoral bonds from designated banks. These bonds, akin to promissory notes, could then be redeemed by political parties for cash. On the surface, this system appeared to streamline the donation process and safeguard the identities of donors. However, beneath its facade of transparency lay a labyrinth of secrecy and manipulation. The electoral bond scheme operates in stark contrast to the principles of transparency and accountability in political funding. Unlike traditional methods where donations are declared publicly, the scheme allows for anonymity, shielding donors from public scrutiny. This opacity fosters an environment ripe for corruption, as political parties can receive substantial contributions without disclosing the sources. Consequently, the scheme undermines the democratic process by enabling undue influence from wealthy donors and corporations. As a result, the electoral bond scheme stands as a testament to the erosion of transparency in political funding, posing significant threats to the integrity of India's democratic institutions. Unveiling the lies and deception. The electoral bond scheme has been shrouded in a cloak of lies and deception, perpetuated by politicians at the highest levels of government. Despite claims of transparency, politicians have repeatedly misled the public about the distribution of electoral bonds. Government officials, including Home Minister Amit Shah, have made exaggerated statements about the amounts received by political parties, painting a distorted picture of the scheme's impact. These falsehoods not only undermine public trust but also reveal a concerted effort to obfuscate the true extent of political funding. Moreover, there exist glaring discrepancies between official data and the statements made by government officials regarding electoral bonds. While officials tout inflated figures of bond sales and distributions to downplay concerns, independent analyses reveal a starkly different reality. Investigating the working of electoral bonds. Delving deeper into the mechanics of electoral bonds, recent investigative reports have shed light on the scheme's inner workings, uncovering a troubling revelation. A journalist's exposé revealed the existence of hidden identification numbers embedded within electoral bonds, contradicting the government's assurances of donor anonymity. These unique alphanumeric codes, visible only under ultraviolet light, undermine the purported secrecy of the scheme, raising serious questions about the integrity of political funding. This revelation not only exposes the government's deception but also amplifies concerns regarding the lack of transparency surrounding electoral bonds. The implications of this revelation are far-reaching, casting doubt on the efficacy and fairness of the electoral bond scheme. Despite claims of donor confidentiality, the presence of secret identification numbers raises alarming possibilities of donor tracking and surveillance. This contradiction erodes public trust in the electoral process and underscores the need for comprehensive reforms to ensure transparency and accountability in political funding. As such, the exposure of hidden identification numbers serves as a wake-up call, compelling us to re-evaluate the fundamental principles of democracy and governance in India. Legal challenges and Supreme Court intervention. The electoral bond scheme has faced significant legal challenges since its inception, with critics questioning its constitutionality and impact on democratic processes. Various civil society organizations, activists, and opposition parties have filed petitions challenging the scheme's legality, citing concerns over transparency, accountability, and the potential for political corruption. These legal challenges have sparked crucial debates on the role of money in politics and the need for robust safeguards to protect the integrity of electoral processes. In response to mounting pressure, the Supreme Court of India has intervened to address the legal challenges surrounding the electoral bond scheme. The court's stance on the matter holds immense significance in unveiling the underlying complexities and flaws of the scheme. Through its deliberations and judgments, the Supreme Court has played a pivotal role in shedding light on the inherent risks and shortcomings of electoral bonds, thereby reaffirming the principles of transparency, accountability, and fairness in political funding. As the highest judicial authority in the country, the Supreme Court's intervention serves as a beacon of hope for upholding democratic values and safeguarding the interests of the Indian electorate. Impact on democracy and public funds. The impact of electoral bonds on democracy and public funds cannot be overstated, as the scheme has ushered in a new era of opacity and influence in Indian politics. One of the most alarming consequences is the facilitation of tax evasion by corporations seeking to curry favor with political parties. By funneling undisclosed funds through electoral bonds, corporations not only evade taxes but also wield disproportionate influence over policy decisions and legislative agendas. This erosion of financial transparency undermines the very foundation of democracy, as elected officials may prioritize the interests of their wealthy benefactors over the needs of the general populace. Furthermore, the electoral bond scheme has been implicated in influencing project contracts and allocations, leading to widespread corruption and mismanagement of public funds. Instances of cronyism and favoritism have been observed, with companies that purchase electoral bonds being disproportionately awarded lucrative government contracts. This nexus between political donations and project contracts not only distorts market competition but also compromises the quality and cost-effectiveness of public projects. Moreover, the lack of accountability and oversight exacerbates the risk of corruption, as elected officials may exploit their positions for personal gain at the expense of taxpayers' money. In essence, the electoral bond scheme perpetuates a cycle of corruption and malfeasance, threatening the very fabric of India's democratic institutions and squandering precious public resources. Case studies and concrete examples. To understand the tangible impact of the electoral bond scheme, let's examine concrete examples that highlight the intricate web of connections between political parties, corporate interests, and electoral bonds. In one instance, a major corporation, Mega Engineering, purchased electoral bonds worth millions of rupees while simultaneously receiving lucrative government contracts across various sectors. This glaring correlation between political donations and project contracts raises serious questions about the fairness and integrity of the procurement process. Similarly, Future Gaming, a lottery company under scrutiny for alleged irregularities, was found to be a significant donor to political parties, further blurring the lines between corporate influence and political favoritism. Another illuminating case involves Ranjit Buildcon, a company embroiled in controversies surrounding construction projects. Despite concerns over quality and safety standards, this company secured multiple government contracts, coinciding with substantial donations made through electoral bonds. Such instances underscore the insidious nature of the electoral bond scheme, wherein companies leverage financial contributions to curry favor with political parties and gain preferential treatment in project allocations. These case studies serve as stark reminders of the corrosive impact of unchecked corporate influence on democratic processes and public governance. As we conclude this exploration of the electoral bond scheme and its implications for Indian democracy, I encourage you, the viewers, to engage with this critical issue and share your thoughts and opinions. Your voice matters in shaping the discourse on political transparency and accountability. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.